All right, Shalom Yasharala. Before we get started, I'm going to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rachak, Wadash, and double honors to the apostles, the bishops, and the elders at Great Millstone that teach and rule well. Peace and salutations to the hopeful elect. We're back with another video, another lesson. The title of this one is called The Physical Mark versus the Spiritual. All right. The physical mark versus the spiritual. Okay, we're going to go into the spiritual mark, which is this is gonna be like some type of a response to the elder Yashawama's video. Matter of fact, I'll go pull it up for you real fast. Remnant Save 144. He did a video earlier, the Lord's mark versus the beast mark. All right, so and of course the Lord's mark is what? It's a spiritual mark. The beast mark is a carnal mark. It's a physical mark. All right, because why? Who Esau, Edom, all right, they're not spiritual at all. They have no spirituality in them. Okay, they're a carnal people. You see? So why would they give you a spiritual mark? All right. Now the Lord's mark is spiritual. Okay, and we're gonna show you that in this lesson today. Lord willing, you be edified. All right. So we're gonna start with the spiritual aspect first. So let's get Ezekiel 9:4. All right. Salakia. Ezekiel chapter 9 and verse 4, the vision of the slaughter. It says, and the Lord, whose name is Yahweh, all right, and the Lord, Yahweh, said unto him, go through the midst of the city, through the midst of Jerusalem, and set a mark upon the foreheads of the men that sigh and that cry for all the abominations that be done in the midst thereof. Okay, and the Lord was talking to the angel with the inkhorn. All right, to tell him to go through the midst of the Jerusalem to set a mark of a mark upon the men that sigh and that cry, in all the abominations thereof. You get that word mark in the Hebrew, okay, and it's the Hebrew thawa. All right, and it says a desire mark. Definition A: mark as a sign of exemption from judgment. See, so that when you get this mark in this verse, it's a mark. All right, I mean it's thou. In the Hebrew, it's thawa, which is a sign, as a sign of exemption from judgment. Okay, so when the angels came and they were going to destroy kill the Israelites. All right, because reading this chapter, that's what happened. If you had that mark upon you, they didn't touch you. You were good. You see. So, and if you didn't have the mark, then you knew what happened. Just like in Egypt, you had the blood on the doorpost. All right, when the destroying angel came, you see how that works. All right, so this is a spiritual mark. All right, Ezekiel 9:4 is a spiritual. You got Israelites who try to use it to say that it's physical, but they try to equate it. They try to precept it with Revelation 13 and 16, which you can't do that, because this is a spiritual mark. All right, the one in Revelation 13 and 16, that's a physical mark, which we'll get to, Lord willing. All right. Now let's do a cross reference. This is Revelation 14 and 1. It says, all right, and it said like we read that that mark is a sign, all right, from exemption from judgment, right? And what's the ultimate judgment gonna come in nowadays? All right, the nuclear destruction, all right, by by ICBM missiles. See, so Revelation 14 and 1. This is now look and lo, a lamb stood on the Mount Zion, and with him 144,000, the 144,000, right, having his father's name written in their foreheads. See, let's get this in NLT, because it says both. It says, Salakia, verse 1, NLT. It says, then I saw the Lamb, all right, Yahushua, standing on Mount Zion, and with him were 144,000, who had his name and his father's name written on their foreheads. You see, that's that seal, all right, that the elect have. They have the names of the Most High, and it's only and the Most High Yahweh and Yahweh Shai written in their foreheads, man. You see. Now, if you let's go back real quick. Let's do this. Let's go to because the what's their name? You got also Revelation 7. All right. 2 and 3, it says, "Now I saw another angel ascending from the east, having a seal of the living power. And he cried with a loud voice to the four angels to whom it was given to hurt the sea and the earth," right? Saying, "Hurt not the earth, neither the sea, nor the trees, till we have sealed the servants of our power in their foreheads." When, who are the servants? The elect. All right. Let's go to that real quick. I want to see what that says in what it says for seal. Because you had believers of the way, they went to yep, seal. What's the seal though? It says a seal. In the Greek it says I'll play it.
Strong's G 4973. Sfragis. Sfragis.
Sfragis. It says a seal, the seal placed upon books, a signet ring by it says the inscription or impression made by a seal. Right? This definition, it says of the name of the Most High and his son Yahweh Shai, who the world ignorantly calls Jesus Christ, stamped upon their foreheads. See that? That's that seal, man. All right. So when you go to Revelation 9 and 4, right, which they brought out, it says, I'm going to start at verse 3. "And then there came out of the smoke, Salaki," and it says, verse 3, "And there came out of the smoke locusts upon the earth, and unto them was given power, as the scorpions of the earth have power. And it was commanded them that they should not hurt the grass of the earth, neither any green thing, neither any tree, but only those men which have not the seal of the Most High in their foreheads." Who don't have the seal? All right, that's those who are not who are not exempt from judgment. Those are the ones who are going to be destroyed by nuclear destruction, man. You see? And if you let's go down here. No, wait. Yep, over here. Same words for seal. I forgot how you say it. Right? Let's go down here. 9 and 4. It says the inscription or impression made by a seal. Revelation 9 and 4. "The name of the Most High and Hamashiach stamped upon their foreheads" must be meant here is an evident from Revelation 14 and 1. You get 2 Timothy 2 and 19. It says, "Nevertheless, the foundation of the Most High standeth sure. Having this seal, the Lord knoweth them that are his." He knows who are who are his servants, who are Salakia. He knows who his servants are, those who have that seal upon their foreheads. Right? "And let every one that nameth the name of Yahweh Shai depart from iniquity." You see? So these are the ones who are going to repent, turn to the Lord, and start and be conformed to the image of his son. You see, that's the elect. They have the names of the Most High Yahweh, that's his name, and Yahweh Shai upon and sealed in their minds, man. You see? So that's the spiritual mark, right, of the Lord. And you get the physical, Revelation 13. I started with that because that was a shorter version. All right. Revelation 13:16. This is the physical mark. This is the mark of the beast. You go watch El Yashawama's video. He went deep into that. The Lord's mark versus the beast mark. I may put the link in the description. Lord will not remember. All right. So Revelation 13:16, it says, "And he calls of all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark in their right hand or in their foreheads, and that no man might buy or sell, save he that had the mark, or the name of the beast, or the number of his name. Here is wisdom. Let him that hath understanding count the number of the beast, for it is the number of a man, and his number is 666. All right, now let's go through this. We always do it. Let's get that word mark. All right, which is in the Greek, charagma. All right, the word mark in Revelation 13 and 16 in the Greek is charagma, and it says a stamp, an imprinted mark, of the mark stamped on the forehead or the right hand as a badge of the followers of the anti-Messiah or Antichrist, right? This is the mark branded upon horses. That lets you know that that's physical. You see things carved, sculpture, graven work of idolatrous images, right? It says a scratch or etching, i.e. stamp, as a badge, right, of servitude, or sculpture, figure, statue, graven mark. You see? Now what's servitude? All right, let's go over here. Servitude.
Servitude.
The state of being a slave or completely subject to someone more powerful. All right, and it says slavery, enslavement, bondage, okay, subjugation, subjection, domination. So you're a slave. All right, and let's get into that. Actually, I got some articles. Okay, so it's a badge of servitude. This is let me go back. I looked up ancient branding. All right, because you go into matter of fact, let's actually go to verse 18. Here is wisdom, let him that hath understanding count the number of the beast, for is the number of a man, and his number is 600 threescore and 6. You go into, all right, chi-sai stigma, which is that word. All right, you go into the root word, G4742, stigma. It says to stick, i.e. prick. All right, it says a mark pricked in or branded upon the body. To ancient Oriental usage, slaves and soldiers bore the name or the stamp of their master or commander branded or pricked into their bodies to indicate what master or general they belonged to, which they cut. See? And there were even some devotees who stamped themselves in this way with a token of their gods. All right? And it says down here, a marking size or punch for recognition of ownership. See? Now if you go over here, all right, ancient branding, I went to human branding. It says, right, human branding or stigmatizing is the process by which a mark, usually a symbol or salakia, or ornamental pattern, is burned into the skin of a living person, with the intention of the resulting scar making it permanent. This is performed using a hot or very cold branding iron. It therefore uses the physical techniques of livestock branding on a human, either with consent as a form of body modification, or under coercion as a punishment to identify an enslaved, oppressed, or otherwise controlled person. It may also be practiced as a rite of passage, example given within a tribe, or to signify membership or or acceptance into an organization. See, it says, I'm gonna go to historical use, right? Marking the rightless. It says the origin may be the ancient treatment of slave, often without legal rights, as livestock, and that's how the elite see you. That's how they see the people of the world. They see you as livestock, man. Right? It says European, American, and other colonial slavers branded millions of slaves during the period of the Atlantic slave trade. Sometimes there were several brandings for the Portuguese crown and the consecutive private owners, an extra cross after baptism, as well as by African slave catchers. Ancient Romans marked runaway slaves with the letters FVG or FUG for fugitivus. In modern Sudan, there are reports of branding of slaves. An intermediate case between formal slavery and criminal law is when the convict is branded and legally reduced, with or without time limit, to a slave-like status, such as on the galleys in France, branded GAL or TF, Trafax forces, forced labor until 1832. Slovakia. And they showed a picture. It says in a penal colony or auction to a private owner. It says as punishment. All right. It says in the criminal law, burning with a hot iron was a mode of punishment consisting of marking the subject as goods or animals, sometimes concurrently with the reduction of status and life. Brand marks have also been used as punishment for convicted criminals, combining physical punishment, as burns are very painful, with public humiliation, greatest if marked on a normally visible part of the body. which is here the more important intention, and with the imposition of indelible criminal record. Robbers like runaway slaves were marked with the Romans with the letter F, says fur or fur, and the tollers in the mines and convicts condemned to figure in gladiatorial shows were branded on the forehead for identification. Under Constantine I, the face was not permitted to be disfigured, the branding being on the hand, arm, or calf. I'm gonna jump down. It says, in North American colonial settlements of the 17th and early 18th centuries, branding was a common punishment for those found guilty of crimes. The type of brand differed from crime to crime. Men and women sentenced for adultery were branded with an A letter on their chest, D for drunkenness, and B for blasphemy or burglary, T on the hand for theft, SL on the cheek for seditious libel, R on the shoulder for rogue or vagabond, and F on the cheek for forgery. Those convicted of burglary on the Lord's Day were branded upon the forehead. See? So this is back then. You know, they've been doing this thing for a long time. Not, you know, the mark of the beast, but they've been branding individuals, you know, for a long period of time, man. It says, during the early stages of American Revolution, some loyalists were branded on the face with the letter GR for George Rex, i.e. King George, by patriots as punishment for perceived servility to the crown. In the late 18th century, England, the letter used would indicate the type of crime committed. Example given: SS, sower of sedition; M, malefactor; B, blasphemer; F, fraymaker; and R, rogue. For example, the mark in the mark in later times were also often chosen as code for the crime. D for desertion and BC for bad character in Canada. Most branded men were shipped off to penal colony. Branding was also used by the Confederate Army during the American Civil War. See? That wasn't that long ago. All right, you can, you know, if you want to look more into that, you can read the rest. I've got this other article we're going to read. All right. Ancient Egyptians may have used branding irons on human slaves. It says small branding irons from ancient Egypt were likely used to mark the skin of human slaves, a new study suggests. Several ancient texts and illustrations, as well as 10 branding irons dating to 3,000 years ago, suggest that ancient Egyptians branded slaves. These branding irons, actually made of bronze, are now in the collections of the British Museum and the Petrie Museum of Egyptian Archaeology at University College London. The branding irons are brought to date roughly to Egypt's 19th dynasty from around 1292 BC until the 25th dynasty, which ended in 656 BC, according to study published October 15th, the Journal of Egyptian Archaeology. Until now, most Egyptologists had assumed that they were used to brand cattle, a practice seen in ancient Egyptian paintings, or perhaps horses. But the brands in the museums are too small for that purpose, said Ella Karev, an Egyptologist at the University of Chicago and the study's author. I'm going to jump down, all right, to the point. It says branding people. It says some of the ancient Egyptian branding irons are almost exactly the same size as branding irons used by Europeans on African enslaved people during the transatlantic slave trade. Many centuries later, Karev said, human branding, and quote, human branding irons from the mid and late 19th century parallel the size and shape of the smaller branding irons discussed here, she wrote in the study. Ancient Egyptian writings also talked about marking slaves, which was assumed to be a reference to the practice of tattooing. Karev told Live Science, and I know in Greece, they did that for the god Dionysus. You know, I think it was digging a leaf on you, on your arm somewhere, right? It says which was assumed to be a reference to the practice of tattooing. Karev told Live Science. For instance, branding is seen in the depiction of prisoners of war in a carving at Medinet Habu near Luxor in upper southern Egypt, dated to 20th dynasty perhaps around 1185 BC. You know, so you see it in this picture. If I can blow it up, no. Let me see. You can get a little something. All right, it says, but research shows that tattooing in ancient Egypt was almost exclusively performed on women and for religious purposes, she said, and the marking of prisoners of war in the Medinet Habu carving is unlikely to be tattooing. It says, practically speaking, hand poking a tattoo without a tattooing machine takes quite a lot of time and skill. And if you're doing that on a large scale, it's not easily replaceable, Karev said. It would make much more sense for this to be branding. All right. And it says Egyptian slavery. It says the practice of slavery, Salakia, in Egypt was very different from the modern conception of slavery informed by the transatlantic slave trade. Karev said, the way that we define slavery, serfdom, indentured servitude, debt bondage, all these are modern classifications and categorizations. What in the world? Salakia. Back here. It says the way that we define slavery, serfdom, indentured servitude, debt bondage, all these are modern classifications and categorizations, she said. The ancient Egyptians did not have these classifications, and so it is up to historians to figure out what in context is actually going on. And you can go more into this, all right, but we just wanted that point, all right, going back over here, Salakia. All right, to show you that this is physical, all right, not this, the Revelation 13:16 is not spiritual. Okay, so let's read it again. It says this is stigma. All right. Now let's look up that word stigmatizing. Let's go back. Let's look that up. Stigmatizing. It says, or stigmatize.
Stigmatize.
To describe or regard something such as characteristic or group of people in a way that shows strong disapproval. You got that you got something on you. Down here, definition B, it says brand, to mark with stigmata. You see? So, it says down here, a verb to describe or identify as disgraceful. See? So, going back, all right? Salakia, come on. So Revelation 13:16 one more time. And it says, and he calls of all. Now we didn't even know this is physical. Okay, it can't be spiritual. You see? Because it's dealing with something branded upon the body. It says, and he calls of all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark in their right hand or in their forehead. You got that word mark. It's the Greek word charagma. And that no man might buy or sell save he that had the charagma, or the name of the beast, or the number of his name. All right, so without the mark, you can't buy or sell. You see? Can't go to Whole Foods or Walmart or wherever you go at. What's that called? America's Best Wings. Okay? It says, here is wisdom, let him that hath understanding count the number of the beast, for is the number of a man, and his number is 666. All right, and we got that word for 666, which we went to that word stigma. All right, chai-side stigma. Then we went to that word stigma. All right, a mark pricked in or branded upon the body. Okay, to ancient Oriental usage. You see, you get the word Oriental. Let's look it up. Right, Oriental. It says of relating to or situated in the Orient, Eastern. All right. It says, so it's dealing with ancient Eastern ways. It says of relating to or constituting the geographic region that includes Asia South and southeast of the Himalayas and the Malay archipelago west of Wallace Lines. Okay, so it's dealing with over in the east, Oriental. All right. To ancient Oriental usage, slaves and soldiers bore the name or the stamp of their master or commander branded or pricked, all right, cut into their bodies to indicate what master or general they belong to. And there were even some devotees who stamped themselves in this way with the token of their gods. All right, then you got strong definition. All right, for stigma, to stick, i.e. pricked. A mark incised, okay, incised, you look that word up, it means to cut. Or punched for recognition of ownership. Star of service. See? So this is is letting you know this is physical, it can't be spiritual. All right? And we went through that, man. You know, so I just want to go through that real quick. All right, Lord willing, this was edifying, you know, something to bring out more edification and more truth on the mark of the beast. All right, because you got these guys out here telling you that it's sin and it's spiritual and something different. All right? So, Lord willing, you were edified, you brothers and you sisters out there. I'm going to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Chak Wadash, and double honors to the apostles, the bishops, and the elders at Great Millstone that teach and rule well. Peace and salutations to the hopeful elect. Lord's will you edified. Till next video, I'm going to say, Shalom.